Is it filming? Yes. Haha. Okay, cool. So, hi. Thank you guys for being here. It's pajama day, so I promise I don't normally wear crazy clothes like this. But for professional development today, we need to talk about our library resources. It's a new kind of setup this year because in previous years we've had LS2. This past summer we moved over into Destiny Follett, and that comes with Discover, OPAC. The system looks different, and so the symbols for ebooks, audiobooks, the researches in databases, that's all the same, so that'll be like a very brief, we can just go over it real quick, and then I want to add our access now this year to the Denton Chronicle. So in ClassLink, y'all should already be in ClassLink, yes? If you scroll all the way down, you'll see those two folders. Those two folders are basically your starting point to get to anything from the library has to offer. So the first one we're going to talk about is the eBooks OPAC, and this one here. You can just over here with me.
Okay.
If you want to log in, you can just look over with her. So in Discover, this is the new version of the OPAC that we had last year. It looks, when you click on it, it looks like this. It's nice, right? Mm-hmm. Looks very, very pretty. On the top, you have all of the learning resources that you can get automatically through here. These are also the ones that are available through that as a separate entity through that folder. When you're looking at these, I have it, we'll go play with this in a minute. I'll show you this first. So there's a link here as well. In Discover, the great thing about this is when you click on a book, it has everything you could possibly need for the symbol, so you know exactly what you're looking at. So in the bottom, I spent all last year going through and genrifying all of our books. So before, I had genrified everything completely. We didn't know where they were. Now we know. So in the bottom corner, that'll tell you it's a sublocation. They'll say, okay, this is the adventure section. You can go to the section that has the adventure. The availability is up here. There's going to be a symbol in the corner. We'll go over those specific corners. I also have printouts taped to the desk, so y'all will know what they are because we had issues with, it says it's in, but it's not actually in. Then we discovered, oh, no, it's an audiobook from their device. And the call number is top right. So it even labels it. So in Adventure, it's going to be GRA. So you should be able to know exactly where it's at. So these were those icons that I was talking about. We have 5 versions of both in and out. The very simplified, it's a book. So that's going to be a book on the shelf. If it's an ebook, so this is from their device. Like the 7th and 8th graders have their own Chromebooks. So whenever you're looking at it, they can actually download it on their computer. Okay, the 6th graders, they have to do it from a personal device, which they can, but that lets us know that that's an ebook from their device. They can read it on their computer. The audiobooks, which we've had a really big push this past 2 years because they love them, with our dyslexia program, with the speech, with the ELLs. The audiobooks have made a huge impact on that. So we have 2 different versions. Do not panic. It doesn't really matter where we bought the audiobook from. So whether it's like a Mackinvia one or like a Follett, it still has the little, like the sound bar speaker thing, yes. And so it says whether it's in or out right here, okay? Mackinvia, there's multiple, so it doesn't really have the same format, but the Follett ones you can only have, there's a certain, with licensing, so it'll be in or out. These up here, audiobook, these are on my playaway card, so whenever I say, hey, yeah, they're over there, that's gonna be these here, okay? Not the ones that are this or this, but that one up there, okay? That's the one that's directly on the card. I have the Playaway, I have the Go Reader. Those are the actual devices that they can take with them. So that's what those look like. Any questions on these so far? Okay. All right, so I want us to go play. In Follett, you should have on your computer, you can get into it if you want to go look. Here's another example. This is a taller version, but when you click on it this way, it'll say where it's at. So you know, here's the in, the out. These are all recently added books. So these are ones that are new. You can see that those recently acquired books have been checked out fairly quickly. These are called carousels, and these carousels are things that I can change. So if I want to do like a holiday collection, or if you guys come to me and say, hey, we're doing a unit on historical fiction, can you create a collection? I can put it in one of these carousels so that you guys know which books from that section are available, which aren't, so the kids can look before they come to the library, so if they want to know. So I can adjust those if you guys want me to.
I'm sorry, do you have audiobooks in Spanish?
We do not. However, I am, one of the grants that I'm putting together for this year is to get audiobooks in Spanish. They don't have as many offered, just because they don't, and they're expensive. But I'm hoping that with the grant, I will be able to get at least one or two, so we can start to see if they really, really help. But it has been, I did a project that is proven that even listening to the audiobooks in English with the English book in front of them, it helps as well. So I'm trying to amp up our collection of the audiobooks, and it lets them go off their device for a little bit. If they have the play away, they can look at the book in front of them and read and practice as well. It also helps with dyslexia. So topics here, these are the ones that are going to be basically the genres. You have the graphic novels, dystopian, so they're kind of oriented, and they know immediately if they're trying to search, you can guide them to be like, okay, well, what do you like? If you like sports, go to this section, and that way it's already built in, it's genreified. So we love that. We do have the selection of ebooks here, audiobooks, again, they're here. These are the ones that you can actually read from their device. This is one, it's available, you just push open and it'll read it to you. There's interactive ebooks, which are kind of interesting. Most of those are nonfiction, so they have like activities with them. So, and when you search, you can go by title, author, or topic. You can search specifically through the format. So it's all very, once you look at it, it's very like user friendly. And I think it's a lot more user friendly, and it looks a lot nicer than the LS2 OPAC that we had last year. So, and we did have Destiny for a little bit, like we had like some sub chunk of it as a resource, but now everything is been put together. So,
and I was looking at the beginning. This is on the SSR.
Yes, this is when we look. This is the new. Because you remember how we had to have the two folders?
Yes.
This is the very first folder. This used to be where the LS2 catalog was. Now that's gone away, and it's the very first folder, very first link in that folder. So you just click here through the SSR. Okay, let's go back. We went over this. We are going to be going back and forth through them a couple of times. These are those resources that are in that same folder. These pictures here show you what they are, and they're all more resources, mostly for teachers, for additional books. So you've got Mac and Via, which is connected. They have additional titles that are available. And when you look through our Destiny Discover catalog, sometimes if it's a Mac and Via purchase, it'll direct you to that link, and it's connected. Gale is the same, but however, Gale is more like nonfiction for reference stuff. So if you're trying to do a unit on bullying or so on and so forth. EBSCO, text share resources. This is great for dual language. It has the English and Spanish. And then teaching books is just a lot of fun. Generally, it's supposedly like it's supposed to be more teacher friendly. You're teaching the books, but the kids get a kick out of it because it has the book trailers. You can do jigsaw puzzles. So when you're trying to do stations for something, close read, you can do the book cover jigsaw. You can have them look through book trailers. That's a fun idea to have as a station. That's not write me a paragraph.
Yeah.
So for reluctant readers, those are a lot of fun. So we went over those last year as well. None of that has changed, but I just briefly wanted to touch it. So here, this is for actual research. I know the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, they all have various teaks that require in not just English but history, but they have to actually research different subjects. this is where they want to go for that. A lot of it is nonfiction. There's articles, there's interactive, there's research studies, depending on what it is. And the big one is we have it in English, the Britannica Encyclopedia in English and in Spanish, which is a really, really cool, really, really beneficial activity for us to have. So does anybody want to look at any of those? Can we pick one or two real quick?
Yeah, I can do the Britannica one.
So again, this is the second, so they're all here. All right, so it's fun, and it is based on middle school. There are different versions for elementary and for high school, but for ours, it's middle school appropriate. I like it because it's up to date, and there's interactive where you can go do HMS, Mesopotamia, you can explore the planets. Theoretically, you can if the internet will work. There we go. So, you can see, let's look at the 13 colonies, right? When you do it, it lets you click through the mini presentation, but it's still kind of just fun. So with those, depending on what in English you're doing or in history you're doing, it gives you some for every concept. And there's quizzes, built-in quizzes, if you want to learn about the American Revolution. I know history did an entire unit on amazing American patriots, so there's one. But even so far as there's an entire section on, last week I saw one, I love Greek mythology, and there was a big setup of Greek mythology. So those kids they're like, I've already read all of the graphic novels about Hera and Hephaestus and all of them. Have them look here because they have those additional subsections that are like, you can look by topic as well. Okay. Back. And they're funny. The all bark and no bite. And they're up to date. They're reliable resources. You have articles, you have biographies, pictures, and videos, because sometimes they just, here we go. I love that.
Now, is this in tandem, with the same subtitles and everything with the Spanish version?
I believe so, yes, we can. Oh, and primary sources, secondary sources, it talks about that. That's good. I'm pretty sure it is no, it's a little bit different. The interface is different, but it has all of the same stuff, but the interface isn't as pretty. We can look up. So you have to look it up as in Spanish. So I'm not bilingual enough to be able to search it correctly, but everything should be, because it's all brought by TextQuest.
Yeah.
And so it should all be in there the same, but because I'm just not bilingual enough to figure out. Okay.
MIT.
Okay, here we go. Well,
Metodología griega.
yeah. He reads all the Spanish dog fans. Metodología.
And then
Griega.
GRIEGA.
Okay, look at that. So it gives us something. Classic literature.
Yeah, very good.
What is it called? The culture of ancient Greece, maybe?
Yep, cultures of ancient Greece.
Tragedy. Classic Greek and
Hellenisco.
the Hellenic. That's world, right? You know it's world.
Who knows world? What's Hellenisco?
Hellenistic. That's like
Is that it?
Okay. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
This is all very important. This is a great place to start when it comes to the trends that are out and about. It gives you, it's very simplified. If I know I want to read about people, or my subject that I'm researching is animals. It's history, it's countries, it's artificial intelligence, cell phones in school, right? It's all very, but it's fun too. It's like Axolotl. So it gives you a great place to start with that. And these are all going to be research topics, nonfiction books you can actually find. So this is a very great place to start when it's like a research project. All right. questions on those? Here we go. So this is new this year, and in previous years, it's always been available, but it wasn't really widely known. So this year, I actually went in and subscribed. It's a free educational subscription, but I did it for the library. So you can log in through the library, or you can go through and do it as your own class, and you can create your own login and register for your each specific class. But I figured this, because we hadn't had it before, having a library version would work. So Denton Chronicle, we're all in Denton, right? Have you all ever seen the Denton Chronicle?
Yeah, in the old days, they used to drop off, like 15 or 20 papers.
Mm-hmm. And I tried to figure out how to get us some of those regularly, but I still haven't seen them, so I'm gonna have to call or email and be like, hey, we needed these, but it just hasn't happened. You really don't, but it is kind of cool to have like one copy.
Yeah, I agree. You don't need 30.
Don't need 30. But okay, so we can go through and play in the website. The login info is, the email is not actually an email. I set it up as just library 2025 because we are in the library and the year is 2025, and the password is the same thing. So, okay, so it's just the online newspaper. But when you have research projects, current events, things that with post-COVID time, relevance is a really, really hard thing to find and to keep them like invested. There's nothing more relevant than the city that they live in. So things of UNT, well, that's where all of us go, and hey, we're at UNT, it has it here. There's even stuff about like landmarks and legacies. Houdini, did anybody know that Houdini came here in 1924?
Did not.
I had no idea, but how cool is that?
Yeah.
Because you know who, everybody knows who Houdini is.
Well, he traveled.
Yeah,
You know,
but
so, yeah.
why would you come, like, Denton of all places in 1924? You wouldn't think of it. So it's just really, really neat. All of these articles, when it comes to when they're trying to read and have to cite sources and figure out what is a bias, all of these things are really relevant because instead of just a random article from Star Telegram or whatever, this is more specific, serves the same purpose, but it adds that relevance there. Okay. Alright, so we're basically done with this. But what I want y'all to do now is, on y'all's tables, you can actually move over here. We can just do this all together. You can take the computer. So there are, I've broken down the TEKS for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade English, because that's what predominantly what everybody was able to come today was English classes. So these are specific TEKS that we can use all of these resources towards. And so I want us to go see if we can look through, find some of the resources that I've told you guys about that could follow these TEKS. Okay? Can we do that? Perfect. Let's go. Let me see if I can grab myself a computer too, since I have extra ones. Did that one not turn on?
I think that one was low
Oh, I
battery,
didn't
so
want to
it
go to the
might
light.
not.
It was someone else's phone.
Oh. Okay. Do you want to go and search the actual catalog?
You could. Do you have a computerized or is it?
Oh, I have it over here. We can do it on this one. We can do it all together. There you go. I will log out.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Isn't that pretty? Sports injuries. It's an ebook, right? You see the difference now?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have the printouts
Yeah.
taped to the table, so when they're looking at it, I don't know.
We actually do cross-synthesized text with sports injuries. You get
And soccer.
I think I have.
You can search through that, or you can do like do it in Spanish. You can like any of these will have something. It's just deciding which version you want to do. And I like the ones that have like when you do centers, you can do here's the video, Here's an article. Here's a compare the formats, because some of them have formats on it. Primary and secondary resources. That on, I think it's Britannica has the primary sources little.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And having all of this nonfiction stuff keeps it more active and updated. Where over here, I have to constantly read, so this lets us have a little bit more. You can even search in like the Denton Chronicle if you wanted to have them like search up something like sports injuries in the Denton Chronicle. Did any of the UNT people? I have it right here.
And you can search. I think there's a football game now for those that aren't good. Yeah, very good.
Hey, look at that. And there's UNT, but there's also like our district. There's specific characters. Yeah, thank you so much.
You guys have a big-
Thank you.
Thanks. I was looking at the primary sources for, like easy for historical.
Isn't that neat? And you can compare them like different time frames, like time periods. Okay, the library is closed right now. So you have to Isn't that neat? So that's just Britannica, but then you can, I like it that you can have comparisons, because 90% of the time the kids just put it into Google, and Google's a great place to start, but instead of having them start in Google, have them put the phrase that they're thinking of in Britannica and things pop up, that it's a little bit more of unbiased, like, yeah, a more reliable resource than, so having them come here, start here, is a little bit better.
So like wealth of knowledge at their fingertips.
Yes, and it's all grade level appropriate, because we don't want, particularly in the climate right now, we don't want them to find something that's a little bit too advanced or inappropriate. So, do y'all have any questions for me? Okay, perfect. This one, the this year's Discover, I use in my text quest. I use that in my master's program all the time. Like it's a great. A lot of the links are all there too. And so last year with the sixth graders, they did the cell phones in school and bullying and social media, and we have all of the like House bill presentations. So going off of those, it's all relevant. And I love
So it gives you like the different.
the two sides of the viewpoint in this one.
Oh.
And so it also gives you like critical thinking questions. So when you read it, you need to be able to think about those. Those could be great questions for like small groups. And then if you look at one of my favorite ones, I want to go to play with this one over here, teaching books. So this is great for teachers because it lets, like you can, if you're doing a close reading or a book club or something, you can show these. But also,
You mentioned the puzzles and stuff on this
Mhm.
one, right?
yes. So when you go through, let's give you a book. Let's do allies. Everybody loves the allies. So this one has 27 total resources.
Wow.
So they have vocabulary resources, awards, book trailers. Let's see. Oh, here. Puzzle. And so you can decide how many pieces you want it to be, and then you can put together the book puzzle.
I love that.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
And that's such a calming activity too. So everything is just you search by title, and then all of the resources are available for you.
Very cool.
Isn't that neat?
Yes, it is.
All right, we good?
We're good.
I
Thank you so
appreciate-
much.
I appreciate you guys.
I loved this.
I'm glad.